Today I'm talking about the Beatles EP, the Beatles #1. As someone who grew up in Iowa in the United States, EPs were just unheard of. They never caught on in the United States like they have elsewhere. And so I find these things, I just recently started collecting them, so I find these EPs fascinating, just kind of little treasures for me. This particular one was released in 1963, I believe November 1st. It was their third British EP. Let's take a look at some of the songs. I Saw Her Standing There was conceived by Paul. He started working out the chords at the family home of Roy Storm, who you may remember was the band Roy Storm and the Hurricanes that Ringo initially was part of. Paul was 20 years old when he started working on the lyrics. Oddly enough, his girlfriend at the time, Celia Mortimer, was actually 17 years old. Paul stated that the original lyrics started out, "She was just 17, never been a beauty queen." But when he presented this to John Lennon howled with laughter and said, "That's a joke, right?" And they redid the lyrics and came up with "You Know What I Mean." Paul thought that was great because nobody would know what he meant. There's a funny little clip when Paul McCartney is receiving the Gershwin Prize when presenter Jerry Seinfeld references these lyrics. He quotes them and he says, "You know, Paul, we're not really sure what you meant." George Martin decided to leave the 1, 2, 3, 4 count in because he wanted to give the impression of a live recording. This exists on this EP as well, much to my delight. The American version introducing the Beatles by VJ Records, it edited that part out, though you can still hear Paul counting the number 4 before the song starts. Speaking of the American album introducing the Beatles, there's tons of counterfeits made of that album, and in a future video I'll talk about how you can discern the counterfeit albums from the genuine article. Misery is the second song on side 2 of this EP. It was originally written for Helen Shapiro. Helen was someone that the Beatles had toured with, but her manager didn't think it was appropriate for her. This caused it to go to Kenny Lynch. Kenny Lynch recorded it, making him the first person to record or to cover a Lennon-McCartney song. McCartney later paid him back by including him on the cover of his famous album, Band on the Run. Side 2 of this EP is composed of 2 cover songs. The first one, Anna Go to Him, was a personal favorite of John Lennon's. Interestingly enough, John had a severe cold during the day of recording, so some people have noted the strain in his voice. I think it still sounds great. The final track on this EP is Chains, written by the husband-wife duo of Gary Goffin and Carole King. This was the first time many fans would ever hear George Harrison sing lead on a commercial recording. And that concludes my discussion of the Beatles EP, the Beatles #1. I hope you enjoyed it. I just love the Beatles. I've just started collecting things. I have a very meager collection. And again, I just love these EPs. I'd love to hear what you guys think of them. If you were brought up in the United States or a place where EPs never really caught on, I'd especially love to hear what you think of these things. I just think they're great, and I'm going to get as many as I can get and hopefully talk about them. But there's a lot more stuff I'm going to talk about in the future. Albums, songs, any personal history I have with them is the main gist of this channel. So I hope to be sharing a lot of my Beatle collection, memories, and how Beatles have helped me with my mental health over the years. And I hope you'll join me on this journey. Please feel free to subscribe to subscribe if you're interested. If not, maybe you'll catch me in the algorithm. Just remember, there's nothing you can do that can't be done. Thank you.